What's up everybody, I'm Jesse Showalter. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to part 4 in a 4-part series about building a real world application for both application stores using a no-code tool called Bravo Studio. In the last video, we bound our data from our database to our designs by creating a data collection that's filled with API calls grabbing the information from the database. We viewed the thing in Bravo Vision and it looked perfect. In this video, I'm gonna give you a play-by-play of publishing your application up to the App Store. You're gonna learn about the individual app stores, about setting up your profile and account on each of those app stores. You're gonna learn how to create all the documentation that you need to upload to these app stores. You're gonna download your packages, transfer them to the app stores, and then send a build for review. I'm also gonna walk you through the process of installing TestFlight and being able to test your builds before they go live inside of the App Store, the publish process, revisioning with builds and versions. And to top it all off, we're gonna set up push notifications so you can send real world notifications to all of your actual users. Let's do it. When the time comes for you to publish your application, you've finished your design file, set it all up, you've got your database and your data collection, and you've gone ahead and you've binded all of the data together, you've viewed it in Bravo Vision, it looks really good, now it's time to publish. You're gonna wanna follow the Bravo Studio instructions step by step to get you there. This is the most complex portion of the process, and it has nothing to do with Bravo, it has everything to do with the processes themselves. But I will say Bravo made it a lot easier than it would have been had I done it on my own. There's a lot to figure out, and they give you a step-by-step guide on how to do it all. I'm gonna link this article from the Notion Help Center about publishing your app down in the description. This is the one you're gonna wanna follow. Is you scroll down and say app publication. It's gonna give you some basic things. Like first it says, make sure you add your splash screen and your app icon. You're gonna wanna get a developer account for iOS and Android. They do cost money. I think it's $99 a year for the iOS developer program, and it's $25 a year, I think, for the Android developer program. So you're gonna have to sign up for those. You're gonna have to do all the normal stuff for signing up for those. I'll put the links to each of those down in the description. Then you're going to need to request your app packages. Let's click that and see what that looks like. Bravo Studio is going to create the app package. It's gonna bundle up all the code for you so that you can ship it off to both of these application stores. So the requirements for Android for this are none, but the iOS developer account is required, and you have to generate a couple of files. And so to do this, the Android one's really easy. We're gonna go over to Publish, Android, and we are going to get the debug APK, and then we head over to publication, and then later on we're gonna walk through this process as well. iOS is a little bit more tricky, so let's go and actually check that one out. It says you're gonna need that Apple developer account and these 3 files. Let's open that one up again as well. It says get an Apple developer account, generate your certificates, app IDs, and provisions. Okay, so 1 certificate, 2 app identifiers, they're also called bundle IDs or app IDs, and 2 mobile provision files. Here we go. You're gonna go to your Apple developer program. You're gonna go to the certificate portion. You're going to choose a certificate, create a certificate, and that is gonna be iOS distribution, App Store, and ad hoc. Okay, I did all of this, and I literally just followed along these steps. You're gonna have to get a certificate signing request. This verifies that you're a real person and you're really creating it. So you're gonna open up an application called Keychain Access that is on your Mac computer. You do need, I believe, a Mac computer to develop an iOS application, so keep that in mind for all of this. You are gonna fill out all the information that's there, and you're gonna upload that certificate back to the Apple developer website as you're creating all of this stuff. Then you're gonna download the file once you're finished inside of App Connect. Okay, next you're gonna go to the app identifier section here, and you're gonna get started, register an app ID. Again, you're gonna create an app ID, and it's gonna be an app, not an app clip. You are going to have to enter in a bundle ID. Now, here's something I got tripped up on. Remember what this is, okay? So for me, my bundle ID name, they recommend that you do something like your name the application name. I kept getting tripped up on this. You have to remember this. Write it down if you need to. Write down what your bundle ID is going to be. And you can see you put it in there, your name or domain, and then the app name like that, okay? So you're going to fill in all the other stuff there, your name, yada, yada, yada. Then you go down and you're going to want to make sure you turn on push notifications because that is something we're going to want to do later is be able to send push notifications. Then you have to generate the profile files, okay? So once you're done, you press continue. And then you generate a profile, okay? I know this sounds like a lot of stuff. You just got to go through and do it all. Boy, it's a lot, but it all worked out okay in the end. Make sure the distribution is for the App Store. Press continue, and then you're going to put in that app ID, okay? So fill in a name and download the provision file. Again, you're just gathering all these files you need. Yeah, you got your first provision file. You're basically going to have to do the same thing so that you get this one signal notification service extension. That's another file you're going to need to permit you to send push notifications if you want to. If you don't, you can skip this portion, but you're basically going to do the same thing. And when you fill in that bundle ID, you're going to make sure that you fill in the one that has the one signal notification stuff on it. Provisioning, profile name, boom. You are done about certificates, identifiers, and profiles. You got everything you need. Now you need to make a P12 certificate on your actual computer. To do that, you're going to open up Keychain Access. Boy, oh boy, you're going to double click on the file that got downloaded. You're going to follow all these instructions, read them line for line. It would be a really long video if I read everything line for line, but I promise you, if you follow this, you will have no problems. So we're going to keep going inside of Keychain Access. You're going to export your file. It's going to be called a P12 file. Once you get your P12 file, boom, then you head over to Bravo Studio. Okay, I've already done this. So let's go to a new project like this, our foodie one, publish, iOS. You can see it's saying, hey, I need all the information because this one hasn't been done yet. Okay, so let's say we're gonna create this foodies guide. You want it to be version 1.0 and build number. Now, I wanna stop really quick. This is a huge distinction. Later on, you're gonna need to understand the difference between a version number and a build number. If you're not down with the iOS development, you won't know what the difference is. So think of version numbers as massive changes in your application. This is a new version of the application. So right now it's 1.0. Later on, if you do some bug fixes, you might want to call that 1.0.1. Later on, if you introduce a new tab or a new feature, bit of functionality, maybe you want to call that 2.0. That's up to you. But while you have your 1.0 version, you might have problems. Like for instance, when I uploaded my application to the iOS App Store, it got denied for the first time because of a button being a little bit off. So I had to create a new build number. So build numbers are iterations of the same version. You're gonna build multiple versions, multiple times that same version of your application. Once you get the one you like and is accepted, boy, then you can push that thing live and now you have the version of the App Store. Keep that in mind. It's going to come into play later. You're then going to need to upload that P12 certificate. If you had a password, you're going to make sure you remember that password too. I didn't have a password for mine. Then you're going to upload your main mobile provision and that one signal mobile provision. You're going to press get your IPA and boom, you're going to get an email that says, success, Bravo is packaging everything together with all those credential files you made. And then once it's done, it'll email you again and say, here it is. Here's your package, okay? So far, so good. Let's go down to the iOS publication process complete, right? So we've generated all those certificates. Now we need package upload. Once you get the IPA that's signed from Bravo, you're going to upload it to App Store Connect. So you can use Test Flight and test out your application. First of all, you're going to want to access App Store Connect, okay? You want to create a new app. If you're going to upload your app, the package of your app, it needs to know where it's going. That makes sense? Okay. When you go and create a new app, it's going to request that you put in one of your bundle IDs. You don't want the one that says One Signal Notification Service. Remember, that one is just for push notifications. The other one, the original bundle ID, that's the one you're going to upload there. Enter a SKU number. That's internal. It doesn't matter. Put whatever you want there. Just make sure it's more than one. Now you're going to upload the package. I used the one that was recommended here, this upload application called Transporter. Okay. Transporter will allow you to upload your app. You can see I uploaded it multiple times to App Store Connect. Okay. So you're going to upload that. And basically you just press plus, find that IPA package from Bravo, grab it, deliver it. Takes a couple minutes depending on your internet speed. Then it's going to log it. It's going to say it's successfully delivered. Cool, fun, awesome. You may, which I did, get an alert that says it can't upload because it needs Xcode to be installed. Oh boy, you're gonna have to install Xcode, but it is a big application. So you might need to delete some other things off your machine to make space for that big thing, okay? So once you get Xcode installed, try it again if you have any trouble like I did, and then you will be able to upload your IPA through Transfer, the application, into App Store Connect so that you can start hopefully getting this thing approved, okay? Then, once you get it there, let's open up App Store Connect. You want to get your app on test flight as quick as possible so you can play with it. So what you're gonna do is download the test flight app on your iOS device, and then you're gonna wanna head over to test flight, and you're gonna wanna create a new version of it. You're gonna see the build that's there, okay? When we submit a new build, it'll be available here in test flight. You want to put, hey, here's what we want to test, a news feed and some bug fixes. You want to add people to your test group. You can add friends and family, other people, and yourself, and then you want to save, okay? Now let's go back to the test flight tab. You can see this was build 1, build 2. I scrapped build 3 and I uploaded a build 4. But each of those, after I was done with it, I went ahead and I expired the build. So currently we have build 4, that you can play with in test flight. If I invited you, I could expire this build and do a new build, okay? So this is test flight. Once it's there, you should be able to open up test flight and see the most current version of your application. You can install the most current version of the application through test flight and test it before the whole thing ever gets put into the iOS App Store, okay? So that's pretty good. Now we go back to the App Store and you're gonna fill out all the information that's here. So that's test flight. You're gonna need to do at least the iOS 6.5 and 5.5 screen sizes. That's the first two. And I will put a link down in the description to the Bravo file that they made available for us that has some of those immediately. You're gonna put in all this, promotion text, description, support URL, all that stuff. All the app information is going to go in. Title, subtitle, this is all marketing stuff so people can find your listing in the app. Once you do that, look, I have all of those available. I have my keywords in, all of that stuff. You can see I have a build here, right? Okay, if we upload a new build, we would be able to see that new build in here, the ones that aren't expired from test flight. Once we're here, we're ready to go. You should be able to say submit for review. It's going to change the status of your project to say, hey, it'll be reviewed soon, then it's currently in review, and then you'll either get a rejection status, like I did my first time around, or an approval status that says, hey, your app's approved, it's going live in the App Store. If you get rejected and you need to create a new build, that's okay. That's the same exact process we did before. You're gonna come back and fix anything that's wrong with your project inside of Figma and then Bravo, all that stuff. You're gonna re-upload your latest Figma design into here, make those changes, okay? Then you're gonna come into Publish after you've made those changes. You're going to get, put all of your stuff in here. Again, there's that bundle ID again, and get a new IPA. That's a new build of where your app currently is. Once you get that new build, you're going to upload that IPA through Transfer again, okay? And deliver it to App Store Connect again. In that scenario, I went through that scenario, I had to re-upload a few different builds. You're gonna see multiple builds down here. You're gonna have to remove the old build and then activate the new build and then resubmit. If you try to resubmit the old build, it will say, are you sure this is the one that already got rejected? So I don't have it here right now, but you can see here's my build. It pops open test flight, right? That's my current build. If I had another one, I'd have a little, if I roll over it at the end, I get a little red minus that I'm allowed to get rid of old builds and only be publishing the newest build. Okay, wow, that was a mouthful. Now we have it all done. You can view it on test flight. Here I go. I'm viewing it on test flight. It tells people exactly what they need to do to test for. Yep, let's start testing. Great, here's my application. Everything's working good. I love it. We submit it, everything looks great, and you are ready to now view it live. Once it is done, you're ready to go. Now, after you've set up all of this stuff in the App Store, you can follow the same process for setting up things in the Android store. It's a lot easier. You just gotta fill in some information. It's a lot easier, I'll just say that. So follow the instructions that are here for Android publication. It's literally just using the Bravo key store. That's the one that I used. Then you upload it. You put in all your information, boom, you get a publishable APK from Bravo, and then you just follow the Android publication guide. So I'm gonna put all of these down below in the description in order. You just follow the instructions for that one, and you will do the same thing. But the iOS store is the much harder one. Once you're done with all of this and you've published your app to the App Store, you might also want to turn on notifications. That's really easy. You go to your project, go over to notifications. It's going to say you need to configure your app to get notifications set up in settings right here. We're going to turn on One Signal notifications. We're going to upload that P12 certificate. And then if you had a password, put that in. We don't have to worry about any of this Firebase stuff, and it should give you a thumbs up. You're good to go. If you get an error, you may need to walk through that P12 certificate creation process again, link down in the description, so that you can resubmit your P12 certificate. Again, make sure this is the time where you're actually submitting that One Signal notification. That's what that whole thing was for your push notifications. So after you're done with that, you should be able to go to notifications and type in the title of your notification and then what you want your message to say. If you do that, watch this, we're gonna send one that just says new game. New games in stock, check it out. And then we can even, this is literally, you can send it in Bravo Vision if somebody is currently on there, or we can send it to the live application that's in the App Store. I'm gonna open it up, we get our splash screen, perfect, our loading, animation, everything's good. Let's send this notification, boom. And we get a notification, a live push notification to anybody and everybody that was currently checking it out. Let's try another one, send it now. Boom, it's gonna come here. I tap on it, it opens up our application just like that. Push notifications are working. Oh, that's amazing. At this point, you've set everything up. You just need to wait the 24 to 48 hours for the iOS App Store to approve your application. And then as soon as they approve it, it might take another 24 hours for it to go live in the actual App Store. But you'll get email notifications telling you that your app is live and all set up. In a similar way, the Google Play Store will notify you when your app is up. Their wait times are a little bit longer right now, and that varies depending on the time of year, apparently. Well, that's it. Our application is done. And when I say that's it, it's done, it's because it's actually done. It is currently live in both of the app stores right now. You can download it for free. You can start using it. You can peruse it. I can update it via my database and make sure that everything is staying up to date. It's legitimately done. And I'm gonna continue improving the application. This is my minimum viable product, but how crazy is this? My concept became a minimum viable product that actually became a live application on the app stores right now. So my MVP is something you can use right now. How crazy is that? So I want to be as transparent as possible. I love Bravo Studio. I think it's a fantastic solution, but it does come with a learning curve. I hope that this video series has helped to kind of soften that learning curve and make it easier for you by watching me walk through and explain some of the tripping points inside of Bravo Studio in the process of publishing your app. Bravo Studio is new, it's very new, but it's really solid. It's rock solid and dependable already, and they have a list of features that are really exciting. They have a roadmap that's gonna be really amazing. So I'm excited to continue to grow my application on the App Store and make it better and fill it with new features and make it more robust. As Bravo Studio rolls those out, I get to actually implement all of those. Now, to really get down to the nuts and bolts of it, it actually probably took me more than a weekend, if I'm gonna be realistic, because there was the original design time for the project, and then I came back in and finessed that project, and then I had to learn that learning curve of how to use Bravo and a lot of trial and error and reading of documentation. But then I would say the actual process of preparing my file and getting it into Bravo and doing all the data binding and then publishing it, that actually probably took about a weekend. I did then have to wait 24 to 48 hours for my app to get approved. So you could say all in all, maybe it took me 4 or 5 days, but still 4 or 5 days touching no code, and I have an app in both of the app stores. Come on, that's amazing. It's amazing. Now that I actually know the platform, I know how to use Bravo Studio, I've gotten past that learning curve, I feel like I actually could get my turnaround time for at least a test flight or my initial MVP of a concept that I have in the App Store within 2 or 3 days easy, depending on the complexity of the data and all that stuff. So it's only gonna get easier and faster for me to create applications. For me, this is really exciting. I can create applications for clients finally, and for people that have concepts, for my own concepts. I got at least 3 or 4 more that I want to create. And so I'm really excited. Now, I know that this is not the end all be all. And at some point I would love to learn how to code my own apps using Swift and Android Studio or something like that. But for now, I have ideas, I have thoughts, I have visions, I have goals, and I'm able to accomplish them using a tool like Bravo Studio. So I highly recommend Bravo Studio. For any of you out there that are still wondering if you should try it, you should definitely try it right now today. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and the series. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about design and development and no-code tools like Bravo Studio, so maybe stick around and look for more videos like these ones. If you have any questions, look down in the description. I'm gonna put tons of resources there for you to learn Bravo Studio, things you need to understand about the App Store, all that stuff. I'm gonna put it down in the description. But if you have more questions, go ahead and leave me a comment. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're designing amazing things. I hope you're making amazing things. I hope you're launching amazing things, because the truth is, you can now. So that's exciting. I'll see you in the next one.